The galaxy believed the human was dead. The Queen believed her daughters were dead. Yet inside a silent, broken space station drifting near a forbidden star, the impossible waited. The story opens with Queen Arelis of the Velari Dominion, ruler of a powerful alien empire. She has not slept in many cycles. Her twin daughters vanished years ago during a classified diplomatic mission to human space. Humans were labeled weak, chaotic, and dangerous. When the mission signal went silent, the Velari Council declared the daughters lost and ordered the records sealed. But the Queen never believed it. Now a strange distress signal appears, old Velari code mixed with human encryption, something that should not exist. Against the Council's orders, the Queen leads a small fleet to the signal's source. Rising mystery. The fleet finds a dead space station, powerless and cold. No life signs. No heat. The Queen boards it alone. Inside she finds signs of battle. Melted alien armor. Human blood frozen on walls. Claw marks from unknown creatures. The station should be a tomb. Then she hears breathing. The shocking discovery. Deep inside the station, the Queen finds a human man sitting against a wall. His armor is shattered. His body is covered in scars. And curled up against his chest, wrapped in his arms, are two Velari children. Her daughters. Alive. They are asleep. The human does not move, even when the Queen's weapon is aimed at his head. His voice is calm. He says only one thing. If you wake them, they will scream. And I promised I would keep them safe. Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The stars had gone quiet long ago. Far beyond safe trade routes, where even light seemed tired, a broken space station drifted alone. No signals. No movement. No reason for anyone to come near it. Yet the station was not empty. Inside, something impossible still lived. Queen Arelis of the Velari Dominion stood on the bridge of her flagship, staring into the dark. Her tall silver crown rested heavy on her head, but she felt no pride wearing it. Only pain. For 6 long cycles, she had ruled an empire that stretched across hundreds of systems. She had commanded fleets. She had ended wars. But she had failed at the one thing that mattered. She had lost her daughters. They were twins, Princess Salia and Princess Varen. Born under twin suns, bonded from their first breath. They were sent on a diplomatic mission to observe humanity. At the time, humans were new to the galactic stage. Small, loud, unpredictable. The Council believed humans were harmless. The Queen was not so sure. Then the signal vanished. The royal ship went silent. Search fleets found nothing. No wreckage. No bodies. The Council declared the princesses dead. The Queen never accepted it. Now, years later, an alert flashed across the bridge. An ancient Velari distress code. Old, damaged, and mixed with something else. Human signal patterns. The bridge crew froze. That code is impossible, one officer whispered. The Queen's eyes narrowed. Where is it coming from? She asked. The officer hesitated. The Forbidden Drift. A region of space abandoned after an ancient war. The Council had banned travel there. The Queen's voice was calm but sharp. Prepare a jump. The officers exchanged nervous looks. My Queen, the Council. The Council is not here, Arelis said. I am. The fleet exited hyperspace near a dying star. Radiation storms twisted the sky. And there it was. The station. Broken. Dark. Scarred by weapons fire. No power readings. No life signs. The Queen felt her chest tighten. She knew this feeling. Hope mixed with fear. Against all advice, she boarded the station alone. The docking corridor creaked as it sealed behind her. The air inside was thin and cold. Her boots echoed through empty halls. Lights flickered, barely alive. Walls were marked with claw scratches. Not Villari. Not human. Something else. Something violent. She moved slowly, weapon ready. Then she saw it. Blood. Frozen against the wall. Human blood. And beside it, alien armor. Villari armor. Cracked. Burned. Her hands trembled. "Celia," she whispered. No answer. Deeper inside the station, the temperature dropped. Her breath fogged the air. Then she heard it. A sound so soft she thought she imagined it. Breathing. Slow. Controlled. Alive. She followed the sound into a ruined medical bay. The door was half melted, forced shut from the inside. She pushed it open. And froze. A human sat against the far wall. His armor was shattered. One arm hung limp. Dried blood covered his chest. His face was pale, scarred, exhausted. But he was alive. And curled up against his body were two small figures. Wrapped in torn blankets. Sleeping peacefully. Villari children. Her daughters. The Queen's weapon slipped from her fingers and hit the floor. Her knees nearly gave out. They were thinner. Older. Scarred. But alive. Her daughters were alive. She took one step forward. The human's eyes opened instantly. Sharp. Alert. Despite his injuries, he moved just enough to tighten his arms around the girls. He did not reach for a weapon. He did not stand. He only spoke. Stop. His voice was quiet. Steady. If you wake them, he said, they will scream. The Queen swallowed. You're holding royal heirs, she said, her voice shaking. Release them. The human looked at her slowly. No. Her guards were not here. Her fleet was far away. For the first time in many years, the Queen felt unsure. Why, she demanded. The human's eyes flicked down to the sleeping girls. They're safe right now, he said. I won't risk that. The Queen studied him. He was barely breathing. His heartbeat showed on a cracked display on his wrist. It was weak. This human should be dead. How long? She asked quietly. He exhaled. I stopped counting days. The Queen lowered herself slowly to one knee. Not in surrender, but in care. What happened here? She asked. The human was silent for a long moment. Then he spoke. They sent me to escort them, he said. Low rank, disposable. The Queen's jaw tightened. The attack came fast, he continued. Your people turned on them. Not all, but enough. Her heart pounded. Betrayal. She had feared this. I got them out, the human said. Barely. He shifted slightly as one of the girls stirred. He froze. Waited. She settled again. The human relaxed. I ran, he said. Through fire. Through vacuum. Through things that hunt sound. The Queen's voice dropped to a whisper. You fought alone. He gave a weak smile. Humans don't like running when kids are behind us. The station shuddered. A deep, distant impact echoed through the metal. The Queen turned sharply. What was that? The human's expression darkened. They found us. The lights died completely. Emergency, red glow filled the room. Outside, something massive scraped against the hull. The station groaned. The human tightened his grip around the twins. "They're back," he said. The Queen stood. Her weapon was gone. Her guards were gone. Her daughters were asleep in the arms of a dying human. And something terrible was coming. She looked at him. "At least give me my children." The human met her eyes. "When this is over," he said. "If I'm still breathing." Another impact shook the station harder. Dust fell from the ceiling. The twins whimpered. The human gently hummed. A soft sound. A human lullaby. The girls calmed. The Queen felt something break inside her. The walls began to crack. Claws punched through the metal. The sound of alien screeches filled the station. The human whispered, almost to himself, "I promised." The Queen realized the truth. This human was not guarding them for orders. Not for reward. Not for glory. He was guarding them because he chose to. The door burst inward. Dark shapes flooded the corridor. The Queen prepared to fight. The human shifted painfully, placing himself fully in front of the girls. He should not have been able to stand. Yet he did. Blood dripped onto the floor. His voice was calm, almost gentle. "Stay behind me," he said. The Queen stared at him. At the human who refused to fall. At the protector her empire had ignored. And she understood something terrifying. Humanity had not failed her daughters. Her empire had. The creatures lunged. The station screamed. And the human stepped forward into the darkness. The human stepped forward. The metal floor shook under his boots as the first creature crawled through the broken doorway. Its body was long and thin, covered in dark plates that reflected the red emergency lights. Its mouth opened sideways, filled with teeth meant for tearing. The Queen raised her claws, ready to die fighting. The human did not roar. He did not shout. He only stood still. "Stay back," he said quietly. His voice was weak but firm. The Queen hesitated. No one had ever spoken to her like that. Yet she obeyed. The creature lunged. The human moved. Not fast. Not clean. But with purpose. He fired his damaged weapon at point-blank range. The blast tore through the creature's head and threw its body against the wall. The sound echoed through the station. More answered. The corridor filled with screeches. The Queen felt fear rise in her chest. Not for herself. For the human. He was bleeding badly now. Every breath shook his body. Yet he stood between the darkness and her daughters. Another creature charged. The human swung the weapon like a club when it jammed. Metal met bone. He stumbled but did not fall. The Queen stepped forward, slashing with her claws, striking down a second attacker. They fought side by side. Queen and human. Mother and guardian. "Why are they here?" the Queen shouted over the noise. The human fired again, missing, then reloading with shaking hands. "They track life," he said. "Especially young." The Queen's heart froze. Her daughters whimpered behind them. The human turned his head slightly. "It's okay," he said softly. "I'm still here." The creatures hesitated. They circled, waiting. The Queen realized something terrible. "They're testing you," she said. The human nodded once. "They know I'm tired." A loud crash echoed from deeper inside the station. Something bigger was coming. The floor trembled. The walls bent inward. The human looked back at the girls. They were awake now. Their large silver eyes watched him. They did not cry. They trusted him. "Guardian," one of them whispered. The word hit the Queen harder than any weapon. The human smiled. A small, tired smile. "Listen to me," the Queen said urgently. "We can escape my ship." The human shook his head. "The docking bay is gone." Another crash. "Closer." "I'll hold them," he said. "You take them when there's a break." "You will die," the Queen said. He shrugged. "We all do eventually." The largest creature burst through the far wall. It was massive, tall enough to scrape the ceiling. Its hide was thick, scarred by weapons fire. The Queen felt despair. Her claws would do nothing. The human stepped forward. He dropped his empty weapon. He reached to his belt and pulled out a small device. A human core charge. Unstable. Illegal. "Human," the Queen said sharply. "No." He looked back at her. "At least let it mean something." The twins cried out. "No," they shouted together. The human froze. He turned slowly. They were standing now, holding onto each other. He knelt despite the pain. "You have to listen," he said gently. "You have to be brave." "You promised," one said, tears falling. His jaw tightened. "I know." The creature roared and charged. There was no more time. The Queen made a choice. She lunged forward, grabbing the human and pulling him back with all her strength. She slammed her claws into the control panel beside the medical bay. A blast door dropped between them and the creature. The station shook violently. The human collapsed. His body finally gave up. The Queen caught him before he hit the floor. The twins ran to him, crying, holding his hands. He did not move. His eyes were closed. His chest barely rose. The Queen activated her emergency beacon. Her fleet answered instantly. Minutes felt like hours. The door groaned as the creature slammed against it again and again. Cracks spread. The human did not wake. Just as the door began to bend inward, bright blue light filled the corridor. Velari soldiers stormed in, weapons blazing. The creature fell with a final scream. Silence followed. The Queen looked down at the human. "Stay with us," she whispered. Medics rushed forward. They lifted him onto a stretcher. The twins refused to let go. "He stays," the Queen said. No one argued. Aboard the flagship, the medical bay was filled with quiet machines. The human lay still, wrapped in light and wires. The twins slept beside him, holding his hands. The Queen stood watch. Hours passed. Then days. The council demanded answers. The Queen ignored them. She watched the human breathe. Weak, but breathing. On the third day, his eyes opened. Slowly. Confused. He tried to move. Pain stopped him. The Queen stepped forward. "You are safe," she said. He looked at her. Then at the twins. Relief washed over his face. "Good," he whispered. Then he smiled and passed out again. When he woke the second time, the twins were awake too. They laughed. They hugged him carefully. The Queen knelt before him. Not as a ruler, but as a mother. "My empire failed you," she said. "But you did not fail us." He tried to sit up. "Please don't kneel," he said weakly. "It feels wrong." She rose. "From this moment," she declared, "humanity is protected kin of the Velari Dominion." Gasps filled the room. No species had ever received that honor. The human blinked. "Does that come with food?" he asked. The twins laughed. The Queen smiled. For the first time in years. Later, as stars passed quietly outside the window, the Queen stood beside him. "You chose them," she said. "You had no reason." He thought for a moment. Kids shouldn't be afraid, he said. If I could stop that, I would. She nodded slowly. The galaxy had misunderstood humans. They were not conquerors. They were guardians. When the story spread, empires listened. When humans chose to protect, they did not stop. Not for fear. Not for power. Not even for death. The twins slept peacefully, curled up beside the human. Safe. The queen looked out at the stars and spoke softly. Any world protected by humans will never fall. And across the galaxy, humanity stood a little taller. And